Hi guys, UK Guns here. So in this video I'm going to be talking about this rifle. I'm going to apologise straight away for the clickbait title because this is not really a SCAR at all. So I'm going to start that straight away before you start furiously tapping away in the comments. Obviously the last video I put up around the M4 generated a lot of discussion and a lot of people are interested in that, which I really appreciate. And I also want to say massive thanks for all the new subscribers that have recently just joined the channel. Just in this month alone I've gained like 2,000 subscribers, which is really cool, and I appreciate all of you coming along and subscribing, so welcome everyone. I'm going to be trying to put out some interesting content where and when I can. I don't upload super often and I don't see that changing, but I'll do what I can. And I always try to answer sensible questions as well when I see them. So given how interested people were around the M4, I thought I would try to sort of make a bit of a series, and it's not going to be just UK legal stuff, but just try and show some other things that you can get that people perhaps don't realise you can own in the UK. I think there is a lot of misconceptions about firearms in the UK, thinking, you know, you can just own shotguns and muskets and that's about it. Which obviously that's not true. Now, of course, there are a lot of restrictions in the UK. Love them or hate them, they're here, and that is what it is. But that doesn't mean we can't own some interesting things. So, for instance, like this, which you would have seen on the channel before, but not for a while. So, I thought I'd kind of give it its own thing. Now, like I say, it's not a SCAR. It's a clone of one, and it's not a 100% faithful clone either. There are some differences which I'll kind of point out to you as I kind of go around the rifle. So aesthetically it's obviously designed to look like a SCAR, but it isn't, obviously, for many reasons. Firstly, it's chambered in a completely different caliber. So the SCAR comes in a couple of different calibers, with the most famous being 308 or 7.62 or 5.56/223. So the SCAR L, SCAR H being the most kind of famous ones, and this is neither of those. This isn't even made by FN, which is the company that makes the SCAR. This is made by a completely different company. It's purely just a clone. This one is chambered in 2.2 long rifle, so tiny little bullet, but that does mean, because it's in the UK, that this is semi-automatic, which does make it a little bit more fun. It's not straight pull like my M4 that I showed you, or the AR-15, straight pull AR-15 that I own. That's not semi-automatic because it's 223 Remington, but because this is 2.2 LR, this one is semi-automatic. So that makes it a little bit more fun. It means you can do a bit more with it as well. Magazine fed 22 rounds, the magazines hold. I'm not sure why 22, a bit of a strange number, but that's what they went with. And it's designed, obviously, in terms of its controls, to be similar to a SCAR, but not identical. So it does have a safety catch here. So you've got the, I'll show this camera here, got the F for fire and S for safe, and that it is ambidextrous as well. So you've got it on both sides of the rifle. Same with the magazine release catch. That too is ambidextrous. And then the cocking handle is up here, but you can actually put it in any one of these holes on either side of the rifle. So you can just literally just pull it out and just move it, say for instance over here, over to that side. And you can put it there if you want to, or you can just pull it out and put it, it says, there you go, and put it over here and have it there if you want, or anywhere in the other sort of 6 positions that it can go in. So that does make it really ambidextrous, and like I say, they have kind of tried to start it on the SCAR, but obviously there aren't that many positions on the SCAR where you can put the cocking handle. It doesn't work the same way, it doesn't come back as far, and there is no bolt hold open or bolt release on this. I'm not sure why they didn't include one, because there is a last round hold open on this, so it does hold back on the last round, but then to release the bolt you just have to basically cycle it. I don't know why they didn't put in a bolt catch so you could manually hold it open and drop the bolt with that. It seems to me like if you've got the hold open on an empty magazine, surely it wouldn't have been that much more difficult to include a manual bolt release, which on the SCAR would normally be around here, similar to the AR-15 where that sits. For whatever reason, they haven't included it on this rifle. So other than that, they've tried to recreate the ergonomics of the SCAR. So they've got the similar sort of SCAR stock. It is adjustable, 3 position, has a adjustable cheek pad as well, and it does fold just like the SCAR does. And obviously they've tried to simulate the SCAR barrel with a faux gas block. Obviously this isn't a gas block, because even though it is semi-automatic, it's direct blowback. It's not gas like impingement or piston driven or anything like that. That's just a faux gas block. But they have tried to sort of recreate the style of the SCAR. It's got a polymer lower and a metal upper. And they've obviously got all the Picatinny on there as well. I've just put a couple of bits on here. Obviously a sling, a scope, red dot on the side there. These M-Bus pop-up sights. It originally had something very similar to like what the SCAR has. That's what it came with. But I took those off and put those on. And obviously this angled foregrip as well. But other than that, it's completely stock. As far as I know, you can't get triggers and stuff for it because it's all proprietary. It's not like, for instance, the Smith & Wesson AR-1522, which takes a lot of AR-15 parts, so you can swap those out. This, as far as I know, doesn't take any kind of aftermarket parts. In terms of the actual rifle itself, it's a pretty good rifle. It's called the ISSC Mk22, I think. Don't quote me on that. I might have to double check. Not the best name in the world, but that's what they call it. ISSC, I think, are a European company, and I'm not sure if they're still making firearms. I don't see many of these around now. There are a few knocking about, but don't really see them being sold new anymore. So I got a feeling they're not being manufactured anymore. In terms of reliability, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. It's certainly not as good as like my Smith & Wesson, my other 22 semi-automatic rifle that I have. That thing is flawless. It rarely ever jams. This is not bad, but it's not flawless. It's a bit ammunition finicky, so Blazer, pretty good through this. Doesn't like subsonics, which obviously most semi-autos don't, but my Smith, for instance, will shoot most subsonics, no problem. This one, not so much. So it's a little bit more kind of ammunition picky, but other than that, it's pretty good. The trigger's not the best. It's a very mushy trigger on this. But for a little fun plinking rifle, it's a good laugh. And you know, if you've got someone who's sort of really into the SCAR and it's a rifle they're really interested in, it's nice to kind of own something similar in that regard. So that's quite nice about it as well. There are other types of SCAR clones you can get in the UK. So I know there is a company that is currently bringing to market in the UK a SCAR clone that's a shotgun. So basically it's a semi-automatic Section 1 magazine-fed shotgun, but designed to look like a SCAR and function like a SCAR. I've seen some videos of it. I don't think there's much out there yet, so I'll keep an eye on it, and maybe it's something I can try and feature on the channel in the future if I can, because it's quite interesting. So there are other options out there if 2.2 isn't really what you're interested in. There's other things you can look at. But there we go. So a sort of, but not quite, UK legal SCAR, clone of a SCAR. Don't tell me off for saying that. It's obviously not a real SCAR. It's an ISSC Mk22, but it is a clone of a SCAR, and I think it looks pretty cool. It's a nice little fun plinking gun. So there we go. Thanks for watching. I hope you found that interesting. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to leave those in the comments. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.